Hi everybody, I'm your host Mark. Welcome to Friendship Shaving. If the light's not very good today, my apologies, but it has been a terrible day today, so fingers crossed this video will come out okay. It's going to be a 2 Schick shave today. I'm going to be using a Schick Injector razor with the standard blade. Actually, it's a Schick Platinum Injector blade. I'll be using that on the left side of my face, and on the right side of my face I'll be using another Schick Injector razor, but this one will have a Schick Injector II blade, the twin blade, and I'll be looking forward to seeing if there's a difference between the two. There are two shaving edges, and I don't know if you are able to see, but there are two shaving edges on the Schick II, and these type of blades are the forerunners to a cartridge razor. The soap I'm going to be using today, and you can see I've got it on my brush, is Flora Colossus by Lather Bros. I like this one, guys. Lavender, Asian pear and cedar. I've loaded my brush. I just moisten my face again. And we shall start with this shave. Now, I would have thought that the Flora Colossus, which has a lovely scent, would be really floral. It's not as floral as I would have thought. And in doing my research, I found that Flora Colossus is a Marvel character, and you may have seen the character Groot in one of the Marvel films. I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy. So I wondered, based on if it was based in part on that character. But as I said, it is lavender, Asian pear and cedar, so there is some woodiness there. When I first smell the soap in the pot, it reminds me a little of Albion. The soap from Phoenix and Bow. I think it's the lavender and the Asian pear. I have looked for further ingredients, but on the Lather Bros website it just gives the three that I've mentioned. But it is a lovely soap. As you can see, I'm getting a fantastic lather. I've given some of this tub away already. Got my teaspoon here, scooping out soap. But yeah, I like this one. Very nice indeed. It's just nice and fresh and clean, with a little bit of woodiness in the background as to close the shave out, in my humble opinion. Got my little botty brush today. So now I'm going to start with the standard Schick Injector. Nice razor, very nice razor. You still find these. The blades are readily available. And they are a mild razor to shave with, but I like these razors. I used to see the blades for sale in a local chemist shop when I was a boy, and I knew they were razor blades, but they weren't like any razor blades I'd ever seen before in this container. My dad didn't have anything like that. He was an electric shaver by then. So really, it's only as I've started my own journey of shaving in a traditional manner that I've discovered how to use these blades. They are definitely a very mild, comfortable shave. I know some of you will find these a little bit too mild, perhaps. But if you like a mild shave, an injector is a good way to go, I think. And there are quite a few on the market now. I've just bought a Parker injector razor to show you. I mentioned that the other week. Got a supply razor up there. I think PAA do their version of the injector. Now I've got these double-edged injector blades. Well, not double-edged. Oh yeah, that's a difference. Oh, I can feel that's much more effective. Not quite as smooth. Definitely a touch more aggressive, more effective. Can really feel that. Schick went from Schick II, which is this type of blade, to I think it was the Schick Super II, which was their version of the first cartridge razor from them. It came with a head that we would recognise as a cartridge razor. And I believe that razor, well, it may have swiveled, but don't hold me to that. Apparently these were available from 65 through to 1980, these type of Schick injectors. I like them, different experience without blading. I watched Six Solo shaving with one of these blades in his injector, and he mentioned that he got them from Connaught Shaving. And I went there, and yes, indeed, they sold them at Connaught. They were a bit reduced, so it was £15 with postage and everything for 10 razor blades. Now, if they're anything like the original Schicks, they seem to last me ages. Now, let's feel if there's a difference. If there is a difference, guys, it's so small that I can't feel it with my fingers. There is perhaps a minute difference with this being, the hair being a little bit shorter as I'm rubbing against the grain. Rubbing with the grain, yeah, there is a difference. very, very, very slight indeed. Certainly nothing to write home about. Yeah, lovely soap this is. I've always wanted to try these double blades, and I've always wondered if they really were any different from the standard injector blade. And just on the theme of razors that were heading towards cartridge razors, I've actually bought that Wilkinson sword cartridge razor that I talked about in another show. It was the first razor I ever shaved with, and that's the reason why I bought it. I actually won it on an eBay auction. Nobody else bid for it. Woohoo! So that was really cool. It's not something I'm going to get into. I love shaving in a traditional manner. I won't be going back to cartridge razors, certainly not anytime soon, but as it was the first razor I ever bought and used, I had to try it. So I'm waiting for it to come in the post, and you will see that soon enough, I promise you. Just for a little bit of variety. Now, of course, with this razor being mild, got to be careful not to overdo it. But you can see, like all razors of that time, you know, they've brought in the longer, lighter handle. And that stayed, didn't it, in the cartridge razors? They've all got that long, light handle. Let's go with the Schick II. Oh yeah, feels really nice on the second pass. Gillette brought out a twin injector razor, and I think they coined the phrase twin injector. A twin blade for an injector razor. And I believe it was Telly Savalas that advertised the twin injector blades, but I am pretty sure that Gillette didn't bring out an injector razor, not of this type anyway. So perhaps Gillette were thinking about that, but went straight into once they got the technology for the twin edge, perhaps they went straight into the cartridge razor. That seems to make sense in my mind, although and you may not know this, Gillette did produce what I assume was a prototype for an injector razor using a double-edged safety blade, your normal type of blade that would come, you know, in a little thing like that, and you would push it into the razor, and that razor was called the Techmatic. What would that be? I think 1940s, maybe 50s, something like that. You'll find that on the Mr. Razor website. Incredible looking razor, beautiful looking razor, very, very rare. Now, essentially we've had 2 passes, mostly with the grain. There are some areas here that are better than this side, but that could just be slight difference in growth. Do you know, guys, they are so similar. I don't actually think there's any difference at all. I'm sure there's not. So according to this shave, perhaps we were sold a big lie way back when, that 2 blades are better than 1. Because they must have tested it. They must have tried to produce the blades, and they must have tested them. So they would have known if it were true. But truth in marketing? Good God, no. Now I'm getting a little bit of that Asian pear, perhaps a little woodiness coming through now. Nice though. Right, here we go. I'm going to go stick with a routine. Right, let's stop there, just to make sure we don't overshave, especially with this one. If I'm using 2 blades but there's no difference in the shave, or minimal difference, let's try and do just what I did on the other side. It definitely feels a little more aggressive now, going with the grain. Keep the moisture on the blades. It feels good when I use it. I can feel the double blade there, in a way. feels and sounds like it should be taking more hair, but in truth I don't think it actually is. Now, my face is completely dry now, so that's good. I'm just going to drain a drop of water, guys. I've overfilled. Now, let's see, shall we? Not quite got it there. It is a very mild razor, guys. So that feels the same on both sides. That a little bit of hair there. We're talking very minute here. Most areas are completely smooth, completely, on my cheeks. Those bits there, my awkward bits, they feel just the same. I've got a little bit of hair left there, wants to go that way. And I haven't, oh, I've got a little bit there as well. So I would say that I'm wasting my money on those blades because they feel the same to me. Let's go that way, wasn't it? I've lost it, I've lost the feeling of it. There we go, there, and it was up there, wasn't it? There we are, that's it. No more. There we are, guys, a 2 Schick shave. I bet there are not many of us in the world that can say we've had a 2 Schick shave. Now I'm just going to use today do you know, I bought some cheap blue stratus. Right, I'm going to use that, but I'm going to put a little bit of balm on first because that is nearly pure alcohol. So I'm going to put just a drop of Hydro Power from L'Oreal Men Expert. Now I like the Blue Stratus Eau de Toilette. That's really nice. I'll just put that in the morning. Just a squirt, and you know, that's great. This is not so nice. It's obviously doesn't smell as much as the Eau de Toilette, but the Eau de Toilette is not overpowering anyway. This, seem to remember from the little box, is made in Britain, made in England by Parfum Bleu or someone, or Parfum Bleu. Somebody like that, so I've got a drop of that in there. Rub that in. Now that's a bit better with that little bit of balm on, but it's still stinging because of the alcohol in it, but much better. So guys, that is my shave for today. Comparing the Schick Ultra with one edge with the Schick Injector 2. Well, I've tried them, and as far as I can see, there's really not much difference. Slight difference in feel with the double-edged blade there, but in result, not much at all. However, that was a really interesting shave, so thank you for joining me and being part of it, and I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye bye.